हम जुल्मतों से देश को आजाद कराएंगे, चाहे जो भी कर लो हम तो बढ़ते जाएंगे। वो देश प्रेम के नाम पे नफरत फैलाते हैं,
वो देश प्रेम के नाम पे नफरत फैलाते हैं,
फिर लूटते हैं देश को दंगे करवाते हैं,
फिर लूटते हैं देश को
दंगे करवाते हैं। हम गली गली में प्यार की शम्मा जलाएंगे, चाहे जो भी कर लो हम तो बढ़ते जाएंगे।
Dear and beloved sisters and brothers on the dais and off the dais. Well, in this short note given to all of us, some ideas given as to why we are here today. I just read one small paragraph. It was during the course of our freedom struggle that the idea of India further evolved, and we bequeathed a modern constitution unto ourselves. Today, this very idea is under threat from the forces of majoritarian religious extremism. Today in India, we witness hatred and prejudices based on religion, region, caste, gender, and class. Society is becoming increasingly violent. Communal violence, caste and gender-based violence, hate crimes are on the fire, are on the rise. I said is on the fire. Farmers, students, and other vulnerable groups are getting marginalized because of growing apathy. Well, this is the background in which we are all joining here to discuss, or rather to ponder on the dreams of Mahatma Gandhi on a united India, irrespective of caste, color, creed, gender, region, or your economic status. I was just going through Gandhiji's India of my dreams, and I would read, I shall work for an India in which the poorest shall feel that it is their country, in whose making they have an effective voice. So Gandhiji believed in building up a nation that everyone, his classic tendencies, the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. And we can add so many categories now, which Gandhiji may not even dreamt, which we have created thereafter. BHK less, something like that I could find. There are so many classes, which some of which Charu tried and Vinay tried to portray here. The scavengers, the man, so many other categories. Had he lived today, in fact, I addressed once a students group, had Mahatma Gandhi lived today. So I was wondering, he would have added so many other categories. This butcher, baker, candlesticker, maybe butcher is there. Baker and candlesticker have gone to the upper class now. There are ever so many other classes have been added. You would have lamented on those classes. And everyone, the only criterion required is he must be an Indian. Every Indian believes that it is his country. Bharat mera hai, mera Bharat mahan hai. What I used to tell in Kerala when I used to organize the Republic Day in the High Court. Bharat mera hai and mera Bharat mahan hai. We don't say Bharat mera hai. We were all asked to say mera Bharat mahan. Mera Bharat mahan hai, koi problem nahi hai. Bharat mera hai ke problem hai. And everyone has an effective voice, not a simple voice, an effective voice. What is that voice? Voice expressed. Voice suppressed is violence. Voice expressed is non-violence. And non-violence is democracy. And suppression is autocracy. So India is a democratic country. If India is a democratic country, then it should have space for voice of every Indian. No voice can be suppressed. If a single voice is suppressed without any reason, then it is not India. India, our Mahatma Ji dreamt is an India where every small, medium, big, rich, poor, worker, non-worker, employed, non-employed, white, black, medium colored, belonging to any religion, I'll be touching that aspect a little later. Any religion, any region, any caste, any subcaste, speaking any language, having any height, having any look, these all have become very important issues now in India. Have a noise and have a space. In this country, there shall be no high class or low class of people. Idea is good. An India in which all communities shall live in perfect harmony. And what is this harmony? That's a big question now. We think unity is uniformity. This is one of the greatest blunder in India we are trying to introduce now. Unity in diversity is what is India. If unity is interpreted as uniformity in India, it's no more India. It is something else. If we want India to exist, it will exist only in its plurality, only in its diversity. I have traveled, and I'm sure quite a few of you have traveled across the country, from north to south to east to west and mid. Everywhere we have a feeling that irrespective of the language they speak, the food they take, the dress they wear, the culture they have, the habits they have, the civilization they follow, still there is a unity. And what is that unity? We are all Indians. We all belong to one country, one nation, and we are Indians. That pride is in the heart of every citizen of this country. And that what makes India what it is. The moment that spirit is questioned, challenged, shaken, there is no India. There can be no room in such an India for the curse of untouchability or the curse of intoxicating drinks and drugs. Women will enjoy the same rights as men. We shall be at peace with all the rest of the world. This is the India of my dreams. Mahatma Gandhiji referred to a few vices, but the vices he would have referred to had he born today are the vices which I referred to from the note supplied to us. My dear sisters and brothers, ours is a country with, since there is a reference to the preamble to the Constitution, I have only the Constitution of India with me. The Constitution of India, where we started with we the people. And we the people, we comprise of how many millions of people now? 134 million people we have now. And 1,200 million use mobile phones. Why? There's some significance to that. I will, in the course of my concluding speech, I will refer to that. Because the impact of social media, the print media and visual media are slowly fading away according to me. The impact is now on the social media. 1,200 million people in India use the mobile phones. And we have a population density of 445 persons per square kilometer. We have Indo-Aryan ethnic group here, Dravidian ethnic group here, Mongoloid and others. All these ethnic groups are here. We have major religions as Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, and others, and people without religion also. The beauty of Indian secularism, since I'm touching the secularism aspect now, is that it's not simply that it does not have a religion. No doubt India does not have an official religion, but that is not Indian secularism. Indian secularism is a secularism where India welcomes all religions and India acknowledges the contribution that a religion can make in mending a man. India does not believe in a religion which believes in ending a man. It believes in all religions which can mend man. That is why, look at secularism. When was secularism introduced in the constitution? It's an emergency contribution. We must remember that. India was a secular country before that also. But we wanted to express it in the constitution, in the preamble, that India, ours is a country which is socialist, democratic, sovereign, and secular also. It was during it's a contribution of our emergency. It's a 42nd amendment. Secularism was introduced. I said pre-amendment also there was secularism in India. India welcomed how many religions? It welcomed Islam. It welcomed Christians. It welcomed Parsis. It gave birth to two world famous religions, Buddhism and Jainism. We have a religious life, not spiritual life. The spirituality in religion is slowly eroding away. And all religions are taking the role of social or communal organizations. And therefore, the profession is there, but not the practice, but propagation is there. The Constitution guarantees three things: profess, practice, and propagate. I am referring to all these aspects because this Constitution is the only thread that webs the country and keeps it as one. There's no other holy book. This Constitution of India is the only holy book which has kept India into one. Irrespective of all differences, political parties, 29 states, 7 religions, 22 official languages, 848 dialects all over the country, several cultures, several regions. Even the climate from state, within a state itself varies. You can stay in winter in one place and summer in another place, within the state, very same state. In spite of all such natural and the man-made differences, India is webbed into one by the Constitution of India, because it has made checks and balances. It has conceived of space for everybody, believer and non-believer, poor and rich, worker and non-worker, this region, this civilization, that civilization, this caste, that caste. You cannot even take a number of the castes in India, because every caste has hundreds of subcastes. Hundreds of subcastes. Despite all that, we are India. Why? Only because of the Constitution of India. It has checks and balances, and it has made space for everybody to coexist, not to simply exist individually, to coexist in the very same country by being a proud Indian, not a mere Indian, not an animal existence. No, the Constitution does not conceive of an animal existence for any citizen of India. It conceives of an existence of dignity to, let me come to the dignity to every citizen. That is the preamble. We, the people of India, having decided to constitute India into a sovereign socialist, democratic socialist, secular republic, and speaks of 4 holy values. All values of all religions, if you take together, they are in our preamble. Justice, equality, liberty, fraternity. Which religion does not speak of this? Which religion is against this? All religions contribute on these 4 holy values. They are moral, they are holy, they are human, and they are universal. These constitute, because we have given a preface, a preamble, as to what this country conceives of, how it dreams of bringing people together and keeping them together. This is so, because we stand for justice. We stand for equality. We stand for liberty. We stand for fraternity. And what is this equality and liberty? Let me touch two aspects, because constitutional morality has been a subject which is being discussed quite often now. What is this constitutional morality? Constitutional morality is nothing but equality, dignity, and liberty. These are the three cardinal principles of constitutional morality. And what is this concept of dignity? The dignity is the feeling of being an Indian, equisituated with anybody else, and being equal, because I am equal to any other citizen in the country. That is our Article 14. The beautiful article. Everybody is equal before law, and everybody gets equal protection of law. And just take you to Article 15 also, how the Constitution conceived it. The state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. No citizen shall, on the ground only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, any of them, be subjected to any disability, liability, restriction, or condition with regard to the way of life. Life in India, living in India. And Article 16(2), no citizen shall, on the grounds of only of religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth, residence, or any of them, be ineligible for or discriminated against in respect of any employment or office under the state. And if you come to these are the duties of the state. We have a fundamental duty aspect. This aspect, if I don't touch it, this speech will be incomplete. This fundamental duty is a duty cast on the citizen. What are we doing? We are always conscious of our rights. But what about our duties? I have a fundamental duty under Article 51A. This again is an emergency contribution. It would sound something parallel, but a contribution to the 42nd Amendment. Fundamental duties, chapter part 4A was added as Article 51A with fundamental 10 and 11th was added for compulsory education. And let me just touch on E, 51AE. I have a fundamental duty. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India, you, me and you, every one of us. What? To promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood amongst all peoples of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional, sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. What's actually happening today? Do you think that these troubles, particularly people have always asked a question, that is because you don't have sufficient penal provisions under the laws, or the punishment is not harsh enough. That is why the rape continues, the harassment to children continues. Do you agree? Do you agree to that? We have amended the Indian Penal Code. We means the country. The nation has amended the Indian Penal Code, introducing capital punishment after Nirbhaya on this extreme violence and rape and death. But did rape stop with that? Did harassment to women stop with that? Are children safe in our country? Why? The attitudes must change. The attitudes of the citizenry must change. It's there where the civil society organizations have a great role. Pardon me, I am slowly losing my faith in media. We believed that media will shape the country. But their shape itself is in trouble. So I don't think that they would be in a position to shape the country. What constructive media do we have now? This is a question for introspection. So only hope now left is the civil society, the nation. That's why on 12th January 2018, we came out to the people and told, we are discharging our debt to the nation. We are telling you that this is a time that you keep informed, that It's not against a person. Many people think that it was against a person. No, it was against the threat that the independence of the institution faced. Once the independence of judiciary is shaken, democracy is gone, nation is gone, unity is gone, harmony is gone, nonviolence is gone. I don't claim that the monopoly on the judiciary of the safeguarding everything, but it has a pivotal role in defining the constitution. When there are trends to defy the constitution, when people try to defy the constitution, the judiciary has a role to define the constitution and say what the constitution means. That is the duty of the judiciary. It is at a critical moment we felt that independence is at stake. Let me just read out a small paragraph from Dr. Ambedkar's speech when this constitution was introduced. How he dreamt about the working of the constitution. Because ours is the largest written constitution. Ours is the constitution which has conceived of every minute aspect. Ours is a constitution which has conceived of constitutional institutions. Let me ask, what about the credibility of the constitutional institutions today? What about the credibility of the institutions which the Constitution looks up for? These are two other questions also. Well, let me read Dr. Ambedkar's dream. Again, since I started with Mahatma Gandhiji's dream, let me conclude with Dr. Ambedkar's dream. I feel that the Constitution is workable. It is flexible. And it is strong enough to hold the country together. It is strong enough to hold the country together, both in peacetime and wartime. We refer to peacetime and wartime also in our songs. In any situation, the Constitution is strong enough to hold the country together. It actually speaks or conceives or stands for unity, holding together. Indeed, if I may say so, if things go wrong under the new constitution, the reason, just listen to this very carefully. If things go wrong under the constitution, if things go wrong in the country, the reason will not be that we had a bad constitution. We have a good constitution. Our constitution is very good. What we will have to say is that the man was vile. The constitution did not fail us. We failed the constitution. The silence of the lawmen does more harm to the country than the violence of the lawless men. I still believe that. Cry for the judges, former and present, who have achieved no rapprochement, even if attempted. You should cry for us also. Cry for the law officers, senior advocates, juries, who could not do better, is on to the lawyers' fraternity. Cry for an executive that can continue to frustrate a constitutional cause through obfuscation and artifice. Cry for the bar that has caved in on itself, allowing opportunities to lead and speak on their behalf, but in forked tongues. Cry for a media, both social and otherwise, who are careless with their words and casual with the truth. Cry for those in court who wait for justice before an empty chair. Cry for the four estates brought to their knees. Cry for the four estates brought to their knees. That fourth estate is the media. And there is the fifth estate is the civil society. I believe in 5 estates. Cry for you and me. Thank you. God bless you. Jai Hind.
हम गीतों से नारों से आवाज उठाएंगे, हम
गीतों से नारों से
आवाज उठाएंगे, चाहे जो भी कर लो हम तो बढ़ते जाएंगे।
चाहे
बढ़ते जाएंगे जिंदाबाद